Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Dmitry Medvedev, the former president of the Russian Federation, responds in his style to Donald Trump's 10 to 12-day ultimatum, fresh ultimatum, issued to Russia. And obviously, the ultimatum is just another threat, and the Russians do not cave in. Therefore, Medvedev has a certain kind of answer for Donald Trump, and it's pointed. Point one, point two, and he says, don't talk like that. Talking like that will make things worse. And unfortunately, for a lot of nations, the United States of America forgot to negotiate. Maybe did not forget, but felt that it can achieve its goals by threats and blackmail, and in cases regime change and straight bombardments. Why? Because it can. Unfortunately, the sooner the guys in charge of the United States of America understand that with certain countries that doesn't work, the better for all of us. Countries like Russia, China, India, Brazil, just to mention a few countries, would like to be treated as equal, with respect, with dignity. And it is hard for an entity who's been used for at least 30-some years already to do whatever it pleases. It's hard to become from a tyrant a democrat. That's why it's hard to become a president of the United States of America after you were a contractor, buildings, things like this, like Donald Trump, entrepreneur. When you are in Donald Trump's shoes, you're used to dictate all the time. It's hard to go and say, well, I can't really do this because you know what? I have to persuade people. I have to persuade countries. He's used to, I'm stronger, I'm going to smack you. I don't have to negotiate, or I will use my style of negotiations. So this is one topic that I would like to talk about. It is the way Donald Trump, in this case, treats other nations, insults them, disrespects them. And those other nations say, no, we do not feel, how should I put it, inferior to you or to your nation, to your culture, to anything you say. You need to treat us as equal. And it's hard. So that's the first topic. And the second one is, while Donald Trump issues threats and ultimatums to Russia, he wants to make deals with Russia on, for instance, on rare earth trade with Russia. He envisions he's going to have a big business with them. Well, the question is, like he has with the European Union, or as equals? I mean, you can't give ultimatums here and then envision that you're going to have a rare earth deals trade with Russia, unless you think of Russia as a vassal state, as the European Union, for example. So let's go to Dmitry Medvedev's response to Donald Trump's ultimatum. This is the 28th of July from Russia Today. Medvedev tells Trump, and I'm quoting, Russia isn't Israel or Iran. The former Russian president warned the United States leader against issuing threats and ultimatums when dealing with Moscow. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev has told US President Donald Trump that Russia is neither Iran nor Israel, or the other way around, and that every one of his threats is another step towards a potential conflict. Russia is not afraid, would not like to go to war, but knows that it can't lose, cannot. The US president on Monday issued a more extreme ultimatum to Russia, demanding that Moscow reach a ceasefire with Kiev within 10 to 12 days. Earlier this month, Trump threatened sweeping secondary sanctions against Russia's trade partners unless a deal was reached by autumn. Why? Because Donald Trump thinks that he's in charge. Nobody appointed him as being in charge, but he thinks that way. Medvedev, who serves as deputy chairman of the Russian Security Council, said that Trump was, and I'm quoting, playing the ultimatum game with Russia, 50 days or 10. In a post of X on Monday, he suggested that Trump should remember two things. First, that Russia, and I'm quoting, isn't Israel or even Iran. That means he put Iran on top of Israel. And second, that every new ultimatum constitutes a threat and a step towards hostilities between Russia and the United States. And I'm quoting, "Don't go down the sleepy Joe Biden road," he wrote. And this is the tweet. Trump's playing the ultimatum game with Russia, 50 days or 10. He should remember two things. One, maybe we'll go back. Russia isn't Israel or even Iran. Each new ultimatum is a threat and a step towards war, not between Russia and Ukraine, but with his own country. Don't go down the Sleepy Joe road. So, what will happen? Trump will probably go ahead with sanctions, secondary sanctions, and this will sanction China, India, other countries that do business with Russia. I think it is a little bit too late for those sanctions to work because these guys already know that what is the alternative. Think about it. Let's say you are India as an entity or China, and you are treated as you are treated by another country, which is you, China, and you, India, you do what I tell you to do. Otherwise, I'm going to slap you with sanctions. Would you want to be friends with this person? Or you know from the get-go that the relationship would be master, slave, or subordinate. Definitely that is the relation. But at least if you look at Russia, you have a partner. And therefore, what do you think these guys will do? They will try to break away from these guys' threats. How? Ganging together against Al Capone's and his plantation. That is exactly what will happen. I mean, it's certain that if they cave in, they accept United States' vassalage, or how should I put it, being at the whim of the United States of America. So on one hand, they know this is what's going to be, which is going to be forever slaves, or the other one, die while trying, which I don't think they will die because the United States of America lost it. That is the competition with the rest of the world. Yeah, you have your limitations. So that's the first topic. But on the other hand, after you issue ultimatums, you say this, and this is, I don't know, bipolarity, I don't know what it is. Trump envisions a rare earth trade with Russia. Now, as an ultimatum or as a partner. You can't be both. I mean, the relationship has to be as equals. If it is as equal, you don't give ultimatums and threaten that you're going to impose sanctions on Russia's trading partners. Now, if you envision a rare earth trade with Russia, you can't envision it as partners because you don't see Russia as partners. You must see Russia as an inferior entity that you can dictate and push around. So let's see, maybe we have a quotation here. And I'm quoting, Putin, he wants to do trade deals with us. He talks about it all the time. He wanted to. And I envisioned a lot of trade with Russia. He put past tense. They have a lot of valuable things when you talk about the rare earths, Trump told reporters following a bilateral meeting with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer in Scotland. So he wants to do it, but I guarantee you he doesn't see it as a trade. Okay, let's sit at the table, how much you want to sell it for. Okay, I can't give you that, I would give you this, but how about this? That's how you deal with an equal partner. That is, I do not know if you have ever gone to buy products or produce from marketplace, where you have peasants, for instance in Europe or Romania for that matter, or so-called farmers here, and they sell their products. Let's say they have tomatoes and they have a price. For these tomatoes, this is the price. For these uglier tomatoes, this is the price per kilogram or per pound. This is the peasants or the farmers offer. Now you come as a buyer who would like to do business with the peasant and or farmer again. And you say, okay, well, I think it's too much. How about I give you this amount? And you negotiate, and he's going to try to say, no, why not? Or might say, no, it's not like that. This is the set price. There's no negotiations. And you can do this. You can walk away and try to find another partner that's going to sell you the same product that you want. Or you can turn around, fake that you leave, and turn around and smack the guy and get all his tomatoes. Or simply say, hey, if you don't give them to me to my set price, I will beat you up. So this is the United States of America. Now this is not negotiations. This is a blackmail threat, however you want to take it. This is really robbery in plain sight, right in front of everybody. I want that product, but I want it on my terms. But it's not, I don't want to sell it. Well, too bad. So why do you think Russia will do business with Americans like that? Why would they? It's a big world out there. You're going to need the rare earths more than I am. You need from China, by the way. You threaten China with secondary sanctions. So do you think China will give you those? So what are you going to do? Attack China? Are you going to impose sanctions on China? If you impose sanctions on China and China tomorrow says for 1 month we don't send anything to you, we all die around here. They don't. We do. They can live without phones and laptops and I don't know, dildos or whatever these guys send over there. We can't live without antibiotics and many other things that we use day and night. So yeah, go ahead, Trump. Continue your... It's not Trump because this was across the board. This is not the first US president who treats everybody else the same. It's just that they got more emboldened by the weakness of the other ones. And instead of being understanding with the other ones, no, they said, I'm going to take it all right now. And Medvedev said, you're going to get in a conflict. That's what you're going to get. And the sooner these guys understand that those guys are ready and willing to counter you, even militarily, the better for us. The problem is these guys have profiteers. That's what keeps the politicians pushing and pushing and pushing. The special interest. Military interest, banking interest, financial interest, investment firms and so on, and the energy sector. These are the main. I'm not talking about the pharmaceuticals because pharmaceuticals depend on China. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.